Oops. Hopes if I'm on the correct screen. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so I'm still in Tel Ekir. I've been adding more facade entrances, and then I need to eventually kind of link some of these spots up. But for right now, I'm just kind of working out where the rest of these are going to be located. Hey Chaz and John, how you guys doing? Ooh, that was some weird lag there for a second. Doing well yourself? I'm doing pretty good. Allergies are a little annoying today, but other than that, I am doing well. Well, you know, living nightmares. uh, that was me yesterday, I guess. Driving the boys to their mothers. Nothing like spending 10 hours in a car and actually ending up nowhere at the end of the day. How's the weather out there? It's not bad. It's been kind of cool and rainy finally. We've been really dry here, so the rain was much needed. But it's kind of like partly sunny out there right now, like mid 60s, I think. So kind of like right in my sweet spot for where I like the weather to be. Hey Zukin, and Thavdek. How's my favorite M&M dev today? I'm doing well. Zukin, look away. But other than my allergies, I'm doing pretty good. Wow, I see how it is. The truth comes out. Hey, Lisa. And Stoic. Hope everybody had a fun weekend. Apologies about the last minute cancellation. My weekend was somewhat crazy, and then I thought I was supposed to be driving the kids yesterday, or not yesterday, on Sunday, and then their mother wasn't able to do it until yesterday, so. That was why I was not streaming yesterday, in case anybody wasn't aware. Alright, now I'm going to stick to just doing one room, and then we'll figure out how they all attach later. And then, what else did I do this weekend? My, youngest son turns 13, so he had his birthday party. So that was fun. And now I live with 2 teenagers, which I'm sure will be fun. Let's see. Hail and well met. Hey, Grix. How is my favorite ranger? Main M&M dev doing? See staff deck. Got to add enough qualifiers. Hey, Dargoth. And, Thai site? How big is Tel Ekir in terms of playable content, compared to Wormsbane? In terms of actual content that's in here, there isn't a lot yet. In terms of scale, this is close to being done. There's probably, I'm hoping to have this done now that the boys are with their mom and I can actually like work on it. I'm hoping to have it done like by not this weekend, by next weekend, as a first pass. So I need to get the mountain up here done, the the canyon over here. I have to work with some of like the interconnectivity with some of these rooms and hallways. I've linked it up once over here, but I also kind of want to add something here and potentially up here that links back into the city. So kind of working on that. I haven't touched the eastern side really all that much. There's not going to be a ton going on the eastern city because that is going to actually zone into our B version of this zone. So like Tel Ekir B, I guess. And then I do want to have some tunnels linking over, like some more tunnel linking between these two. But some, whatchamacallit going on? You know, some more rooms and buildings and stuff like that, but not as much. This is going to be more of like a no man's land. And then there's going to be a couple entrances to the other zone. I may even tuck one over here, but I haven't decided yet. Ranger Daddy Petties. Good luck living with two teenagers. Thank you. I have a feeling I'm going to need it. Definitely with the older one. Currently. I'm sure the younger one will have his moments as well. As he gets up there. Yeah, more in terms of scale, size, not the amount of actual implementation. Okay. Hey, Patrick. Scale-wise, it's similar. To what is playable now. So there is a large section of Wormsbane that is not populated. So you almost never see it in the streams. Because we just haven't developed that content yet. But there's essentially 4 wings to the tomb section of it, and this has, 4 wings essentially. These areas are obviously kind of first pass. This one needs to get broken up more. Like I said, there needs to be some more interconnecting routes. There needs to be the route up to the top here, and then that area needs to be developed. But I've left space so that we can create more tunnels off, more rooms off of areas to expand once we start getting mobs in there, once we start feeling the density, get some playtests in there, start feeling, okay, does this support enough players? Or enough of a group or groups in the area? So there'll be a lot of changes and tweaks and stuff once the general population and stuff gets a first pass. In fact, actually, Nick was just discussing a slight tweak he'd like me to make for Wormsbane, so I'll probably be doing that right after I finish up the first pass here. They both seem like pretty sizable dungeons. When I think back to P99 zones, I think of Unrest, KC, City of Mist, and the minuscule compared to these, even larger than stuff like Soul A, Soul B, Upper Guck, and Lower Guck. Yeah, they have, for the most part, the dungeons have been larger. I think we'll do more smaller dungeons as well. I think Fallen Watch will be smaller and more intimate, kind of like a KC style in terms of scale, but with maybe a little bit more verticality than KC had. It just happened to be the first 2 that we've done have turned more sprawling than kind of more smaller footprints. All right. Gonna have to do some stuff with line of sight eventually too, because this is way open. And I'll need to figure out what I'm doing with the mountain in this area. Though, I'm gonna punch a hole through this. Fix the elevation of this stuff in a second because this is not going to be the same. But it'll be easier to see it once it's there. Casey and Unrust are my jam. Intimate is a good word for them. Actually, if I remember the write-up for Fallen Watch, I believe Intimate was actually one of the descriptors. Or at least a section of it. But again, it's going to... It will... KC is kind of like... The way I'm picturing it is KC with a bit of unrest. And... Oh my god, I'm totally blanking. What was the other one that I was thinking of? The lower region being maybe a little bit more Seb, and lower Guck influenced. In terms of vibes. That's kind of how I'm picturing it, anyways. We'll see where it, actually falls, but that's kind of the initial ideas. I want to be flattened by trains in the new Ashira hangout. Hey, Cacao! Sorry, guys, my voice is, like, being weird with the allergies. Just one long corridor after another. I should get myself another punch loop there. Come on. There we go. Gosh, helps if I can actually, like, select the widget and not click off of it. There we go. Hey, Liz Kimber. I was on EQ2 for a few hours last night. It was fun. Nice. So is Tel Ekir B going to be the monster city you can faction up with? Or just a different level range theme of dungeon content? It's going to be a different theme. Kind of within the same... How do I articulate it without without giving massive spoilers? So yeah, it's within the same idea, but it is dominated by a different faction, a different race, and they don't get along with the Ashira. So, yeah, it's a different vibe in that sorts. So it'll be the same kind of space. It might change a bit. In terms of like progression, and then it'll definitely have a different vibe to it because of the other race. Spoilers. Invading Mooncats, probably in Tel Ekir B. You never know. But yeah, besides that, very similar, idea of, these ruins kind of diving down into the earth. It's just been kind of where the upper and western regions have been claimed by the Ashira. The deeper regions have been claimed by another creature. And then the even deeper regions may have some stuff in store for them as well that are a little bit more ancient. Oh, shoot. Oh. Oop, that was not what I wanted to do. Hey, Quixano. So none of those factions are native to Tel Ekir. It's not like the Ashira built the city, they claimed it or moved in. Basically, yeah. So actually, if I go over, I played around with the idea a little bit. There's a couple spots where you can see it kind of initially marked in. But the original inhabitants are a different scale than the Ashira. So the Ashira, being jackals and you know, canine-esque, have dug either downwards or upwards into spaces to make them larger for themselves. So they're excuse me. Don't know why I can't speak today. Anyways, the idea was this was a little bit grander of a space anyways. But yeah, so to kind of make it fit, there's a lot of these kind of either dug down, or eventually these door frames will have more detail to them. I think I did a couple of them somewhere. Where did I do those? Oh yeah, down here. So like that. They'll kind of have angled corners, beveled corners. But yeah, so that'll kind of help, you know, make it so that more, you know, more average size races will be able to kind of maneuver around in here. We didn't, when I asked about it, we didn't want to make it a scale dependent dungeon. There may be more as we get into B that I play around with, because again, the Ashira won't have been kind of making that space their own. For however long it is that they've been doing it. So I kind of want this to eventually do something similar to this. And I think I want to eventually do a little cave system right off of this. So like a ledge and a cave. Maybe that goes over from here to here. I'm not going to work on that yet. I want to finish the rest of the city portions first, but with that in mind, I kind of want to set some of this stuff up before I start moving up. Probably should do this. Forgot to delete the edged extruded. Do it on the other side as well. Cool. So now I at least have something there for it. Let's see, like, visually. You know what? Maybe I should extrude it further. Hold on, let's delete that face. What if the big races had to duck or crawl through doors? They will. There's definite spots like like ogres and stuff in here will probably want to shrink because they'll be ducking a lot. But the idea was more with like more for the again I'll call them like average medium races. To make it so that they can move around a little bit easier. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna leave it at that height because I like it. Maybe down just a pinch. You know what? Yeah. So this would essentially would be where that entrance would be, or maybe no. I guess that would be hidden. That's too. So I'm trying to make like the mouth of that cave at least be noticeable from one of the areas. I mean, it'll be noticeable here, but I'm just trying to get it a little bit framed more nicely. Oh, if anyone else is inspired by us making the Pro Builder thing, instead of 507 Pro Builder, I cloned 5.1 GitHub. And the experimental Boolean tool actually works. Oh! I may have to write that down. 510 Git. Because that's one thing I've missed from, whatchamacallit, brushes from Unreal, where was the ability to Boolean, because it does not work in the version that I'm in. It'd make doors and windows so much faster to make. So you can make an arch, cut it out of a wall if you need, or if the whole where the boulder went through or whatever, without going insane. Yeah, that is. I may have to talk to Ali and see if we can get that merged in, because if that's possible, like all these little like windows and stuff like that, I don't have to make a million of. I don't have to like rebuild them every time. It's just make that, stick it in, and boolean it out. I may have to break stuff into sections more, so it's just not as intense of a model. But yeah, that would be phenomenal. I want to see areas where small races can access. It's always big races facing inconveniences. John, I think that will be a thing. We were actually just talking about max step height. And what we're doing with that, because it got reverted because it was causing issues in other spots. But Ali's going to be working on that soon-ish, he said. But the idea is that some races will have heights. You know, the max step height will be different between different races. So, like, ogres might potentially be able to step up and get to areas more easily than a human or a gnome or, you know, a halfling or a goblin or whatever. That's not so hard. Just have stuff. Everyone has the same judge. Hate ceiling though. Well, that's kind of wrong. It would be more of a percentage, huh? I think I also want to do some more of these kind of extruded portions. Oops. Oops, forgot to grab that edge. So, there's a giant waterfall that's going to be falling down here, right? So, it's kind of, the idea is, since this is kind of like a softer stone, it's kind of like eroded away and collapsed areas, and then I've made these kind of like really tiny, smaller race dwellings that are very kind of Cappadocian, just like one story, almost like stone huts. And I want to have some like buried under the water here. I've got this larger scale one that's been broken up. I need to put another window or something over here. But then I broke the pieces up and made like a little ramp so you can get up to the second floor to pull a mob or whatever. And there's like a stairwell essentially that you can jump up. So there needs to be more rubble and stuff around, but general idea is there. But trying to make it kind of feel like the water has kind of, you know, collapsed. Maybe maybe there was a cave there at one point. So some of the stuff that was up on ground level is now underwater. So I've been kind of slowly building out these little overhangs and stuff like that. What's the dinky hut? I probably should have bridged. All right, let me do this. I wanted there to be more leftover kind of bits and pieces of the previous civilization. And kind of going off that Cappadocian theme. Problem is, even though they're small, they're large, so they take up a huge footprint. Maybe I won't put that there. Not super happy with this area. I plan on breaking up pieces and stuff like that, having ruins kind of along here to break up this a little bit. This has the way up there. This has this little spot we made, which I forgot to actually put an entrance to something here. And I'm trying to be a little bit more, or a little less accurate and like measure everything. I'm trying to make this a little bit more, this stone be a little bit more, I guess, freeform, kind of by hand, since that's the architecture itself is kind of like carved out of it, so it's not like measure. I mean, not that you can't measure stuff, but a lot of the kind of reference was based off of stuff that's not, you know, like perfectly executed scales and proportions. Use the wrong tool for that. So again, for now, I'm just making these kind of like super generic. Um, but they'll kind of get a little bit more detail added to them after words. Oops. Select the face I want. Like that. And then something that would have been a smaller race scale is suddenly good for a more human race scale. And then we'll switch these back together to finish this right now. I want to add some props to this real quick before I forget what I'm doing with this. Shit. Rename that. Let's grab some tables. And for right now, I'm just using the same tables that we've been using. Once they load. Hello? Why aren't these loading my images? We just upgraded our Unity number, or like our version of Unity as well. So there's some funky things that I'm still trying to figure out. Like why I can't see the preview. Where is the view options? Okay, apparently I'm blind. I don't see it. Let's use the simplest ones we have. And then we will tuck this into that props that I just made. So at 90, let's get 0. The hell? That shouldn't be staggered. What the heck's going on? Oh, you know what? I'm probably... No, global, yes. Rotation is zeroed out. Why on earth is that not... Huh. I have to look at the... actual meshes and see if I exported them wrong. And they're at a slight angle. Alright, so I'm going to make this larger. Okay, that worked. I really need to make the prefab for these, but for now I'm just going to tuck these here. Yes, so I know, I'm kind of thinking this is like a dining kitchen area. Much bigger. And these right now go into props. That's enough for me to remember what I want to do there, and for anybody else's populating stuff to kind of realize what I'm going for in that spot. That's not really. Yeah, actually, probably could do another. Spot right there. Gonna be really funky, kind of walking across that with a hole to jump over. Fixed. So I think these will probably also be linked out besides the exterior part in here with a room or two. But I want to start moving this because this is going to be more important. It got funky somehow. I think this is gonna have like stairs or something going like that. Uh, so push back. Oops, shit, that was not what I wanted to do. trying to think about, like, I want another space kind of like coming off of this larger room so that there's more spots to potentially, you know, support this as a camp or something like that. I can expand off of this, but I want to wait and see how this works before I expand there. This is going to have stairs. Maybe it says stairs going on the center. I have to play around with where I want the stair placement. Actually, let's just figure out this out. And then I'll go back to working on that later. I know what I'm doing with this. Oops. I got locked? What is going on? No, I was just being... Pro Builder was just being Pro Builder. So water will come down. This needs to create a ravine. Come on, Pro Builder. So I think what I'll end up doing is make a kind of canyon-y pass with some open spots potentially to put some mobs and stuff. And then it's going to kind of open up around here. And it's going to have to... what I'm probably going to end up having to do is break this portion off and make it its own mesh. Looks like a good time to save, yeah. That it does. So yeah, I think I'm going to end up having to just break this off and attach this to that. Let's start this. No. Well, that wasn't what I wanted. God damn it. Okay. So let's just grab the rest of this stuff. I'll leave it to here for now. I can always come back and fix it if I decide I want to detach it in another way. Oh, that's enough. Turn off the ocean. Well? What is going on? Okay. Alright. So now I at least kind of have an extremely, extremely rough setup. And I can now merge these two. Alright. Definitely want this to open up before that. So you'll see that the super obviously low resolution meshes. Very primitive meshes, just kind of like showing where the thing's gonna be. think Sean was running around here yesterday, and it had water and mobs and so on, and it was amazing how different it looked. In this area? I think, I don't quote me, but I think the only mobs are in this area. I think. Zone panel. Yeah, we're just at the entrance so far. Actually, you know what? I forgot to ask Goblin. It doesn't look like he's uploaded it. Okay. So that's something I needed to do eventually, too. Oh, as the zone. Let me delete that for now. And that. I think I want a little, like, overhang-ish. Alright, it's gonna be like super rough for a little bit. Oops. Maybe instead of making that a ramp up. That up. I think what I'm going to do is instead of having the ramp up here, I'm just going to make a little cave that these will go through. And then eventually this area will come from up top there. Just be a little overhang. This will have a bridge from here. Well, this will move over to here. And then this mountain is eventually going to have to get the top of it pulled up as well. That blocks that too much. Granted, hold on, I should really... I'm just going to rough this in for now. Open up my PRF doc so you can see the concept real quick. So yeah, this is essentially what that is pretending to be. Okay, this gives me a better idea. Curious, will every mob be able to swim? I can imagine gameplay issues with non-swimming mobs, but lore-wise, it makes sense. I do not know if we plan on having any that cannot swim. I believe that's one of the things that that tech is supposed to be tackling somewhat soon. But don't quote me on that. But I think swimming and max step and ducking are all things that, like, character controller wise, need to get implemented. The hell? I would probably lean against that, for example, like you said, the gameplay issues that it could cause. And that's coming from someone who has fond memories of jumping into a river in Crushbone, literally thinking orcs can't swim. And then learning that orcs could swim and swim much better than my 0 swimming skill would allow my character to swim. Okay. Switch up here to another. Hey, Trinity. Yep, I am streaming. Although you're coming in towards the end, sad face. If you don't drown in Crushbone, did you even play EQ? Very true. Can't remember if it was me or my brother. One of us drowned in that little underwater tunnel, and then we were freaking out trying to find the body. Hey, Armisk. Um, Work has been busy today, but I'll watch the VOD later. Hope you're doing well, man. I am doing pretty well. Which reminds me, I need to hit publish on some of my VODs, because they've been ready to go, and I keep forgetting. But, like I said, I've had a more busy 2 weeks than I was expecting to have. These last 2 weeks before the kids went off with their mom. Oops, sorry about that. Should set them as scheduled. If you set them up. Um, just waiting for the post process. Yeah, I just needed to copy over the description and schedule them, and I did not do that. And pick whatever thumbnail YouTube gives me. Because I do not have the time to make individual streaming thumbnail cards for every stream. As much as I'd love to do that, it's a lot of work. And I'd rather spend that time working on M&M than working on stream cards. Okay, so that kind of works. Like I said, this will have a bridge of some kind in the future. Just close that hole up for now. Yeah, I just used the generated ones. Yeah, out of the 1 or 2 times where I really wanted to be clickbaity, I just use whatever the best of the 3 generates for me it ends up being. Alright. I think I'm going to leave this right now. So what I need to do is continue working this, cleaning it up, obviously. And then figure out how I want this kind of approach up. I kind of feel like I want this to be a bridge over here, kind of like a rock or something right here. Then you'd approach in from this side, have something going on here. I might ask Goblin to mock up a real quick sketch of like what this could actually fully be. And then over here, I'm either going to do a slight valley-ish type thing right here, where you're doing another bridge over into this area, or it'll just be a kind of walk along the edge into a cave. Something along those lines, but that'll get us up into this area, which will be pretty different in terms of aesthetic. And then I can actually start like shaping this mountain. But I'm hoping to get at least this portion traversable the next day. Alright, guys. I am going to call it a stream here. Let's bake our nav mesh. Okay, that's good. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with me today. For anybody who's new to the project and not aware of what we are making, that is our website that I just linked. We are making an indie MMORPG called Monsters and Memories. It's very inspired by the first generation of MMOs, so late 90s, early 2000s. Think EverQuest, Ultima Online, Dark Age of Camelot, Asheron's Call, that era. If you have any questions, feel free to hop into our Discord. All the devs are in there. There's like 4,000 people in the community at this point. So someone should be able to answer your question. The devs are usually pretty good at answering anything that they're tagged to. And we try to read through everything. So cool place to get info and ask questions. That is our mailing list. If you'd like to stay up to date with the game, great way to do that. If you're ever interested in hopping into any of the future tests, again, we don't have any dates set for them, but the mailing list and Discord are the two places you want to be paying attention to, because that's where a lot of those, whatchamacallits will be, announcements. These are the other members of the team that stream. If you haven't followed them already, I would recommend that. We all stream our like individual aspects of the game. There is some overlap. My streams are generally level design and environment art based. Sometimes I'll do some shader work or post-processing as well. That is our YouTube channel, which we were just talking about. If you want to get caught up on any of the past VODs, we upload our VODs there. If you are watching on YouTube, please remember to like, subscribe, comment below, click the bell, all that fun stuff. The more engagement we get with those metrics, the more likely it is that YouTube will recommend our content, or M&M's content, to anybody who's, interested in classic MMOs and stuff like that. Right now, it's like one of the best ways you can help support the project is, telling friends, engaging with those metrics, and helping the organic growth continue. So we appreciate everyone who does that. Thank you very much. If you are watching on YouTube and you'd like to participate in my live chats, there should be a link somewhere down below in the description to my Twitch channel, Paytus the Ranger. If you click on the link and then click follow on the channel, you'll get a notification whenever I go live. You can also opt into Discord streaming notifications, and then when anybody on the team streams, you'll get a notification in Discord as well. My streams are Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Wednesday and Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I should actually be able to stream this following Monday. It's been like a solid month of craziness that has prevented me from streaming on Monday nights. But I should be on that 3-stream schedule, hopefully, for the next, 3 or 4 weeks, before I have a summer class start. Beyond that, guys, that is it for me today. Thanks, everyone, again, for hanging out with me. Thank you especially to all of my subscribers. You guys rock. Always appreciated. But, yeah, thanks, guys. I will catch you on Friday. Later.